What? Wow. Whose idea was that? Oh my god, I love it! Okay, wait, what made you want to ask him?
Okay, I think we found the source of the misery, guys. Let's not spread it around the room. How's everybody else? Is anybody else fucking miserable? Oh, sweetheart, did you expected it would be a man? It must be much like your sex life, is it?
I give credit where credit is due. I'm probably the most pro-anti-Trump comic out there. That
No, you're not.
Shut the fuck up!
No, you shut the fuck up. As a white guy trying to talk for black people.
I'm not.
Bitch, no, you're not.
Yes, I wasn't.
No, you were.
You just tuned in.
You were trying to.
Well,
You were trying to.
For what? What are you upset about? It's not me.
No, and shut up. Any black person ever try to laugh at his fucking jokes? No.
Stop having fun, motherfuckers!
Hecklers think they're the stars until a comedian absolutely destroys them on stage. What starts as a loud interruption can quickly spiral into complete public humiliation. And believe me, some hecklers never saw it coming. Picture yourself at a comedy club, maybe having a drink or two, and suddenly you shout something out. At first, it feels like you're part of the show, until the comedian snaps back with a reply so sharp, the entire room bursts into laughter. But here's the catch. They're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you. And in seconds, you go from being the funny guy to the joke everyone's watching. Here's something most people don't know. Some comedians actually live for hecklers. In fact, in many comedy clubs, heckling isn't just tolerated, it's expected. These moments give comedians a chance to shine in a way scripted jokes never can. Some even hope for a heckler to step up just so they can flex their quick wit and savage roast skills. But things don't always stay fun. In cities like New York and Toronto, hecklers who get roasted too hard have been banned for life after storming the stage or throwing drinks in frustration. Imagine getting so owned on stage that you actually lose control in front of hundreds of strangers. And it happens more often than you'd think. So why do people risk it? Why interrupt someone whose whole job is to outwit and humiliate you with nothing but words? Maybe it's ego, maybe it's alcohol, or maybe it's just a reckless gamble. One thing is clear. If you decide to heckle a master of comedy, be prepared to get burned, and not just a little. These comebacks are lightning fast, brutal, and perfectly crafted to leave hecklers speechless. Some moments end with the heckler losing their mind right there on stage, turning a simple comedy night into total chaos. Stick around, because the next clips you'll see aren't just funny. They're savage, unforgettable moments where comedians didn't just shut down hecklers, they absolutely annihilated them. Hecklers are a notorious part of the live comedy experience, sometimes annoying, often disruptive, but occasionally they set the stage for some of the most unforgettable moments in comedy history. One legendary incident involved a female comedian who faced a sexist heckler during her set, only to turn the interruption into a masterclass in wit and dominance. The night started like any other. The comedian was warming up the crowd, delivering sharp jokes with confidence and charisma. Suddenly, a male heckler shouted out a sexist remark aimed to undermine her performance and shake her confidence. The audience's mood shifted immediately. Some gasped in shock, while others braced for a tense showdown. But instead of faltering, the comedian seized the moment with surgical precision. Without missing a beat, she flipped the heckler's insult into a blistering burn so clever and cutting that it instantly silenced him. The audience erupted into cheers and gave her a standing ovation. What could have been a tense and awkward confrontation became a defining moment of the night. Studies show that female comedians face 3 times more heckling than their male counterparts. These relentless interruptions are not just rude, they're a direct challenge to a woman's authority on stage. That's why quick, smart clapbacks are not just a luxury, but a survival skill. This particular comic's response showcased exactly how wit and confidence can disarm negativity and reclaim control of the room. The heckler, clearly embarrassed, attempted to argue back but quickly realized he was outmatched. His attempts to regain control only made the crowd support the comedian even more fervently. The atmosphere transformed into one of solidarity for the performer, turning the audience into her staunch allies. This incident also highlights a broader truth about comedy. The stage is a battleground of words, and comedians are warriors armed with humor. A heckler's drunken or ignorant nonsense can disrupt, but it can never defeat a comic who is quick, confident, and prepared. The comedian's ability to turn insults into humor not only neutralizes the threat, but actually enhances the show. Beyond just entertainment, moments like these have cultural significance. They challenge societal norms around gender, power, and respect in public spaces. When a female comedian shuts down a sexist heckler, she's not just winning a personal battle. She's making a statement about equality and respect that resonates far beyond the comedy club. Ultimately, this moment reminds us why comedy remains a vital and powerful art form. It's not just about making people laugh. It's about taking control, standing your ground, and turning adversity into triumph. The heckler thought he could shake the show, but instead, he became part of the story of a comic's unstoppable rise. And the crowd loved every second of it. In another unforgettable comedy show moment, the audience played a crucial role in defending the performer. When a heckler tried to disrupt the set, the comedian didn't just confront him, she skillfully turned the crowd against him. With razor-sharp wit, she roasted the heckler like a reality TV villain, instantly transforming the mood in the room. The audience shifted from awkward silence to full-blown comedic mob. Fun fact, in some comedy clubs, audiences are prepped beforehand not to engage with hecklers to keep the show flowing smoothly. But nothing beats the raw power of a crowd spontaneously uniting against an intruder on stage. The heckler attempted to fight back, but instead of support, he faced a wall of boos and laughter. The emotional arc was clear. From initial tension, the room erupted into laughter and collective energy, showcasing the crowd's loyalty to the comedian. This unity turns the performance into a shared experience. Hecklers aren't just annoying nuisances. They become the villain everyone loves to see taken down. The crowd's rejection sends a powerful message. Comedy is a safe space for the performer and the audience alike. In these moments, the community protects its own, and the heckler, isolated and outmatched, usually has no choice but to retreat. Sometimes the best comedic takedown comes not from rapid-fire wit, but from a slow, deliberate response that hits harder than any quick joke. In one unforgettable moment, a relatively quiet comedian was heckled during his set. The crowd held its breath as he paused, seemingly frozen and unsure how to respond, but the truth was far from it. He was setting a trap. After a tense beat, the comedian delivered a slow burn comeback that completely destroyed the heckler. The line was perfectly crafted, hitting just the right balance of humor and insult. The audience exploded with laughter and applause, shocked that the seemingly shy comic had such a lethal weapon in his arsenal. What seemed like hesitation was actually masterful timing. Many professional comedians prepare pre-loaded heckler lines, ready-to-go comebacks tailored to different types of interruptions and insults. They keep these responses on hand and rotate them depending on the situation. This preparation turns heckling from a nuisance into an opportunity to showcase control and confidence. The heckler, who initially assumed the comedian was weak or unprepared, quickly found himself embarrassed and outmatched. The crowd's energy swung completely, rallying behind the comic and making the heckler feel isolated and defeated. This moment also became a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Comedians who appear reserved on stage often hold the deepest reserves of wit and strategy. The unexpected comeback king reminded everyone that sometimes the most devastating burns come from those who wait patiently and then strike precisely. Every comedian knows that hecklers can be a part of the show, but sometimes a heckler crosses the line. One infamous incident started with a drunken heckler shouting over the comedian's set. The comic began with gentle roasting, trying to keep the mood light while signaling to the heckler that the interruptions weren't welcome. But the heckler escalated quickly, launching into a loud, aggressive rant that disrupted the entire room. Security was alerted through a secret signal system that most comedy clubs use, a subtle hand gesture or nod that tells staff to intervene without breaking the flow of the show. The comedian, fully in control, continued roasting the heckler with sharp, brutal wit, landing one final devastating punchline just before security stepped in. The crowd erupted in cheers as the heckler was escorted out, clearly impressed by how the comic maintained dominance over the chaotic situation. Instead of losing control, the comedian used humor and authority to keep the room on their side. Comedy clubs train their staff and performers on how to handle unruly hecklers discreetly and effectively, ensuring the show goes on without unnecessary drama. This moment was a perfect example of how comedians balance humor with leadership, turning potential disasters into moments of triumph. The comic waved goodbye to the heckler like a true boss, reinforcing that no one ruins the night when a pro is on stage. In the unpredictable world of stand-up, this story shows the power of quick thinking, confidence, and control, and why comedy is as much about managing the crowd as it is about delivering jokes. Every comedy show has that one heckler who thinks they're funnier than the comedian on stage. Spoiler alert, they almost never are. In this legendary moment, a heckler tried to out-joke the comic, stepping up with an awkward, forced, open mic routine right in the middle of the set. The crowd winced, but the comedian didn't miss a beat. Instead, he expertly roasted the heckler's feeble attempt, turning the front row into instant allies. One famous comedian actually dared hecklers to come up on stage and do their own set for 1 minute. None ever lasted more than 20 seconds, proving that being funny on demand is an art few can master. The heckler's attempt to steal the spotlight backfired spectacularly. The comic's clever dismantling of the wannabe performer only made him look 10 times funnier and 100% in control. The audience erupted in laughter, and the heckler was left red-faced and speechless. What made this moment so unforgettable was how it turned from a potential disruption into a mini masterclass on comedy itself. The comedian showed that humor isn't just about quick jokes, it's about timing, confidence, and reading the room. He demonstrated why the stage belongs to the pro and why hecklers should think twice before trying to upstage a seasoned comic. This moment also reminded everyone that comedy is a craft and a battle of wits. You can't fake it or bluff your way through. And when a heckler steps up thinking they're the funniest person in the room, the comic's job is to remind them why they're not. Always with style, humor, and a bit of mercy. Every comedian fears the moment when a heckler takes things too far, but one unforgettable incident took that tension to a whole new level. In the middle of a packed show, a particularly aggressive heckler stormed the stage, clearly intoxicated and ready to confront the comic physically. The crowd gasped. This was no longer just a battle of words. This was real danger. But the comic didn't flinch. Instead, with perfect calm and deadpan timing, he delivered one simple, razor-sharp line that instantly disarmed the heckler. The room went silent, the tension evaporated, and even the heckler paused, confused and outmatched. That single moment of control turned what could have been chaos into a legendary scene. Some comedians actually train in martial arts or carry discreet self-defense tools precisely for moments like these. But it's never about violence, it's about confidence and presence that prevent escalation before it starts. Security moved in swiftly to escort the heckler out, and the comic simply nodded, thanked the crowd, and continued his set as if nothing had happened. This composure showed why being a great comedian isn't just about jokes. It's about courage and mastery of the stage. This moment sends a powerful message. Comedy is bravery under pressure. Which of these heckler takedowns made you laugh the hardest? Or maybe cringe the most? We'd love to hear your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Every comment helps build our community of comedy lovers and keeps the conversation alive. If you enjoy savage roasts, epic stand-up moments, and the art of comedic comebacks, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a video. We've got plenty more wild and hilarious stories coming your way, all showcasing the incredible skill it takes to keep a crowd in check and laughs rolling. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, whether you're on stage or in the audience, comedy is about staying sharp, keeping your cool, and never letting the hecklers win. Stay funny, stay confident, and above all, don't be that guy at the show. Catch you next time for more unforgettable comedy moments.